Next on Worcester News Tonight, remembering lives lost in house fires in Worcester. The effort is underway to prevent tragedies. And Worcester Public School Superintendent candidates face off against the school committee. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McComb. The search process continues for the next superintendent of Worcester Public Schools. Tonight, the school committee interviewing all 4 candidates: interim superintendent Marco Rodriguez, Doherty teacher Carrie Mulcahy, South High principal Maureen Benenda, and Norback Avenue School Principal Carrie Allen. The individual interviews took place at City Hall and lasted roughly an hour each. Now, each candidate gave an opening statement and then was asked 12 questions from the school committee before making a final statement to the panel.
I think we're going to be in good shape. I think the next superintendent of schools who we select will do an outstanding job and move the system forward.
Going pretty well. I think all 4 candidates very well qualified. They all did a great job. They gave what their experiences were, what their vision was, and the programs that they're interested in.
The next portion of the interview process will be a public meet and greet at Doherty at 5 p.m. on Wednesday in the cafeteria. A selection will be made on March 14th. A somber ceremony in Worcester remembers victims killed in house fires while also urging residents to take precautions to prevent them. 26 years ago today, 3 children were among those killed in a fire on Florence Street. Our Andy Madison has a look at today's memorial.
It was a tragedy to that family.
It's a sad memory for Charles Spazianti.
And I got a call one night from my niece saying that the house was on fire.
The house was the one he grew up in on Uxbridge Street in Worcester. The fire killed his 2 sisters, 96-year-old Rose Jordan and 83-year-old Eleanor Ronaldo.
I'm lost for words. You know, I really don't know how to explain it, but it's, you know, terrible, terrible. The house was total loss.
It works for her.
Every year, the Maine South Alliance for Public Safety gathers at this memorial.
John L. Johnson, 42, 2003.
To read off the names of those killed in a house fire. After 3 years without tragedy,
Rose L. Jordan, 96.
Jordan and Ronaldo were among 5 victims added to the list this year.
3 years we celebrated. This year we're not. Sad day.
Kevin J. Pace.
The names are also read as a fire safety reminder.
Check on your neighbors, check on your loved ones, ensure that proper fire equipment is operational.
Important advice reinforced by Spazianti, who knows all too well the devastation of a house fire.
My nieces, nephews, everybody, they all are taking this very hard.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The investigation continues into this weekend's deadly fire in Orange. The State Fire Marshal's office says 2 people were killed and 3 hospitalized by the fire Saturday night on Mechanic Street. It's believed the 2 killed were children. A memorial has grown outside the home on Mechanic Street. Neighbors we spoke with say they are devastated by what happened.
It's just hurt. It's just a tragedy for the kids, really. It's the kids. That's what the main concern is. It's sad. It's heartache.
Just smoke coming out from everywhere and coming out from all edges of the roof and fire out the 2 front windows. So it's a shame.
The names of the victims have not been released. Worcester police are investigating an armed robbery. It happened this weekend in the Best Buy parking lot at the Greendale Mall. Police say the victim met a male suspect inside of Best Buy. The suspect lured the victim to his car by telling him he had the same electronics as Best Buy, but for a cheaper price. The victim followed the suspect to his car and gave him money, but when he got into the vehicle to get the electronics, the suspect pulled a gun on him and then took off, dropping the victim off near West Boylston Drive. The victim was not hurt. The suspect is described as a Hispanic male around 6'2" and likely in his 30s. He was in a dark-colored 2001 Hyundai Accent hatchback in poor condition. If you have any information about this incident, you're asked to contact Worcester Police. 30 new recruits are set to join the Worcester Fire Department Monday. It's one of the first days of the 14-week training class the recruits will go through before becoming firefighters. Our Olivia Lemon has more.
their actions as firefighters reflect not only on them, but reflect on everybody else who's gone before them.
Monday marks day one of a training course for 30 new Worcester Fire Department recruits. City Manager Edward Augustus and Chief Jeffrey Gardell welcomed the trainees, reminding them of the important role they will play in the city.
Each of the training modules, each of the exercises that they go through, think of it as this might be the critical information that I need to keep myself safe and to save the person that I'm trying to save.
This class is made up of 30 personnel. Out of the 30, there's 11 veterans, 2 females. First time we've added female firefighters to the Worcester Fire Department since 2004. And that'll give us a total of 8 female firefighters.
Gardell admits the 14-week course can't teach the recruits everything they need to know, so he says they'll spend the remainder of their first year working alongside skilled firefighters.
We bounce them around to different apparatus, ladders, engine companies, the rescue, so they get a great knowledge of what's happening out there on the fire ground in their first year.
Gardell says right now the department has 363 firefighters, which is down 43 from the recommended 406 to be fully staffed.
We're going to piggyback another class right on the back of this one, and we'll have our numbers figured out by the end of this class of what the attrition should be by the next coming August.
Augustus says it's important for recruits to recognize for many Worcester residents their only interaction with city government may be with firefighters who are on scene saving lives.
That interaction is a positive one, that they interact in a professional, appropriate way so that people come away feeling confident in their tax dollars and the services that the city of Worcester provides.
The recruits will be sworn in as firefighters in 14 weeks if they pass the course. Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Hundreds of law enforcement from across Worcester County and the country gathered today in Springfield for a funeral for Virginia officer Ashley Guindon. Guindon had only been on the job one day when she was killed responding to a domestic violence call. She was just 28 years old. Local police departments tweeted out their respects to Officer Guindon today as well, tweeting messages like "Thank you to all the policemen and women who make our country a safer and better place to live in."
Camaraderie in law enforcement, our brothers and sister officers, they know that we support them no matter what.
A sea of blue could be seen today throughout the city of Springfield as motorcycles and police cars lined the roads. Well, despite loud chants by a group of angry protesters late this afternoon, the MBTA voted to increase fares by 9.2%. The T says the price hike was needed, but T riders say they should not have to pay more until services improve. Michael Rosenfield has reaction.
Chaos breaking out at Monday's board meeting where T officials were set to vote on fare hikes across the system. The protests breaking out after about 2 hours of passionate pleas from the public to spare them from increased costs.
You don't care about what the people have to say, and you have people coming down here speaking their mind, and it's just going out one ear, going in one ear and out the other.
The protest so disruptive, the T's board members had to briefly adjourn, but they did come back to vote despite the noise.
And the fare increases as proposed.
The new fares mean most passengers will pay just over 9% more than current prices. Students and those who depend on the ride won't be hit as hard. Some believe the T should look at other ways to increase revenue, including improving fare collection.
People waive their passes all the time. They hop in the back doors, and no one ever actually makes them pay. So my guess is that they're losing a lot of money on people who are evading fares.
Today's board meeting packed with passengers not just asking to keep fares the same, but to improve service like wait times.
And you're sitting and waiting. In the summer, you're burning up from the heat. In the winter, you're freezing from the cold.
T officials say the money that's generated, about $20 million each of the next 2 years, will go into the aging infrastructure with the goal to improve service.
I don't want to give them more money to fix a service that's broken because it irritates me that it's broken.
The new fares go into effect on July 1st. They'll be in place for 2.5 years, and at that point, they could go up again.
A young girl's fight against cancer is inspiring her community. Many in Millbury are now stepping up to help young Ella Grace Powers beat the disease. Our Brittany Schaefer has her story.
Ella Grace Powers is a happy, outgoing girl. The 9-year-old from Millbury was diagnosed with leukemia in January. Her battle of cancer is inspiring an entire community.
When she was in the hospital, I talked to her every day. She's so strong. She's hit with the toughest battle you can be hit with. And she's still smiling, laughing, acting like a normal 9-year-old.
Ella's cousin says the cancer is curable, but she faces 2.5 years of treatment.
She's only 9. A 9-year-old girl is supposed to be running around playing, not fighting for her life. And then you get angry. There's a lot of bad people in this world. Why does it have to happen to someone so good?
Powers' 3rd grade teacher, Melissa Finnegan, says Ella likes to play teacher. Finnegan says while Ella can't be in school, they keep her updated with schoolwork, tutors, and a monkey.
It sits in her seat, it travels to special with us, and I take pictures of it and send it to her while she's not here of different things the monkey's done or who they've worked with, who she's worked with.
The principal and assistant principal of Elmwood Street Elementary visited Powers at the Boston Children's Hospital a couple weeks ago.
One of her biggest fears, which was really wonderful to see, was I want to make sure that I'm staying up with my studies.
But the thing that struck me, especially with her classes, is immediately the kids were, okay, well, what can we do?
Powers is back home where her town is rallying around her. A fundraiser dance is expected to draw 300 students and raise money towards her medical costs.
All the proceeds that we make at the door with the kids' donations and our snack bar, we're giving to the family.
The outpouring of support from friends, family, strangers, local businesses, it's incredible to see it.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester.